Over the years in this hobby, I always find that post-apocalyptic role-playing games are probably the hardest to find, or especially good ones. And in this video, I'm going to look at something that is currently on Kickstarter. Is it going to be a good post-apocalyptic world? Should you get on it? Should you back it? I'll take you through the Kickstarter, what's included. We'll have a look at the artwork and the pledge levels too. Before I get into that, my name's Adrian from Dungeons and Dyslexia. This is my channel based on role-playing news, reviews, and I look at crowdfunding. I do now have a Discord and Facebook page, so you can come and find me on there. Right, let's just jump straight over to the Kickstarter page. I am in a different corner today. I'm normally in the top left, but don't worry about that. There's a reason for that as we start looking at what is included in this. I kind of want to say wonderful campaign. So here we are, we've got Wasteland Degenerates, the hardcover TTRPG. So the core book for Wasteland Degenerates system is inspired by Mick Borg. I'm sure I'm wrong in that. I know it's some weird pronunciation. And Cyborg. We're currently, at time of recording, $27,000, made 441 backers, and there are still 14 days to go. The creator of this project is Scott C. McDonald. It says here, well, it's his first Kickstarter project, but we look at him, so he is the creator of the game, the post-apocalyptic game. You can message him and all the contact details are there. However, when I started looking at the project, he did create this, which is Wasteland Degenerates Jumper Cable Edition. So this was dealt with on BackKit, I think last year, so it funded July last year, which is from what I can work out, this is a similar version to what's included in this Kickstarter. However, what this new Kickstarter includes actually are the rules for the game itself. So the Degenerates rule, so the original book here, which is Jumper Cable Edition, doesn't include any rules for the game the way it appears, so you'd still need a copy of Morkborg, or as I'm going to call it for the rest of this video, or Cyborg. This Wasteland Degenerate is a complete included book, so this is all you need. So if you haven't got the original copies of either of those books, you don't need to go and buy it. So let's actually get into and see what's included, and then we'll show you some really cool bits that are coming up for it as well. And then I'm going to show you a bit of a close-up of the artwork. So welcome to Wasteland Degenerates, the complete hardcover edition for the tabletop RPG that throws miserable, radiated scum into a world that's already ended. How will you spend your time before your broken corpse of this earth releases its death rattle? So if you are returning, this is where I found the previous project, let me be the first to thank you. And why should you back this effectively is what we're looking at. It's going to get new monsters class in, hitchhiking strangers factions, an introductory adventure, and a brand new cataclysm system. To be clear, this version is a self-contained game. While it is based on and compatible with Morkborg and Cyborg, it does not require those books to play. So who's got the big bombs? So this is a high lethality game. You can lose your character with a single roll of a dice. If you played any of these systems, so like those, and I even include Pirate Borg in this one, which is, so they are really good, fast, old school D20 rollover. There's 4 or 5 stats in the game, very few hit points. Leveling is incredibly quick and it is deadly. But we have got here, so if you are, character creation takes about 5 minutes. That's all in all of these games. But if you really need to save 5 minutes of your life, there is an online generator here. So they've got this website where Wasteland Degenerates was linked, so you can have random characters, random jobs, so a job board that creates jobs for the players to go and find. And even vehicles are included here. So I'll just show you how the character works. This is the reason I'm in the bottom corner, because normally I'm up in the top left here. You wouldn't be able to see this. Warp it, print it, copy it. So here is a randomly generated character with name, background, the class, mutations, Hess, and we've got hit points, the stats, etc. So you can just click warp it. You're just gonna here we go, another one, crazy Riley Crazy Viper, and all the stats and weapons and equipment are here, and you can just keep pressing this until you get a character you're happy with. I wouldn't allow players to do that if they're too lazy to spend 5 minutes creating a random character. then you go. But the great thing about this is if you decide to solo, because you can solo quite a lot of the board games, you can just create your new characters really quickly and you can just go from there. So you've got this job board here. So if you want to create a random job, and there's thousands of combinations of options which we then put in. So who it's by the fixer who's doing it, the client that's going to be sort of setting up the job, the carrot, which is what will it do for you, the stick is what's kind of going to go wrong, and then the type of work itself that's in there, and then you've got all the the locations where it's absolutely amazing that this is all included, and it's obviously it's free. It's just freely available, and you could actually use this resource for pretty much, especially this official job board, for pretty much any post-apocalyptic world, or you could kind of adapt it to any other. And then we've got a load of random vehicles here, and again, if we decide to warp it, up in the top left corner, it's just going to create a ton of new vehicles. Chassis is made out of the MPG capacity, any spaces it's got, mounts, cargoes, etc. Absolutely fantastic that this is included. Okay, let's get back to the Kickstarter page. So we've got the high lethality and vehicle rules here. Rules like OSR mechanics, which I think I've pretty much covered. So it's got 5 ability scores in here, so it's the same as Cyborg. Uses simple player-facing roles. If we wanted to see the characteristics, let's just quickly go back to characters. And what we got: strength, agility, presence, toughness, and knowledge. Rules like, so grungy scavenging and looting. We all know the best part of the post-apocalyptic game is finding treasure or food, or water, or whatever it is that the players are going to need. We've got you covered with multiple tables to cover your ultimate dumpster diving needs. Gnarly mutants and scummy human foes. Beyond the 2 types of zombies and mutant beasts and unspeakable alien monstrosities, we all know that humans are the worst enemies. There are numerous factions of raiders, corporate mercenaries, religious zealots, and even well-meaning but misguided government remnants, with all at odds with each other and you. The final section, before we get into the so a little bit of the artwork and then the pledges, is just breaking down some of the crunchy bits of the rules. So we've got a D8 classes, so you can roll a lot of these Borg systems. You can roll your characters completely randomly, all off random tables. So you can use the character generation, but it's 5 minutes. I would encourage the players to roll them. You've got weapons tables, then their armor, critical injuries, and radiation poisoning, which sounds incredibly fun. Well, unless you're suffering from them. A D20 hardened survival skills. 10 different D3 tables of cybernetics and implants, D12 mutant powers, and D20 complications. So we're going to get mutations and cybernetics in this game. Reality warping, cosmos interface, and sinister Toth Tech relics. So that sounds like sort of, well, not magical items, but as you can imagine, sort of items that are game breaking potentially in vastness. A D6 vehicle types, and then Reaver's Rhapsody, which is a full adventure. I say this all the time: if you're going to be selling or creating a new book, I would make it mandatory, and anybody that actually bothers to write an adventure automatically gets my backing, because I think it's a great thing to not only create your rule set, and your world, but also give the players and the games master an idea of what you want and the expectation. And that's what, to me, a starting level adventure covers. We've got 9 different factions of monsters and enemy combatants, some hitchhikers, some ground and vehicle combat rules, as you'd expect, loot table, and a job board of the apocalypse with unlimited adventures. So there might be some rules in the book for this, I assume, but we have got the online generators here. Okay, a little bit then. Sorry, I did say that I thought we were going into backing, but we're then going to cover a little bit about the world.
Maybe post-apocalypse or plague.
how it all works. So one thing you've got to worry about is famine, because food is produced in the form of a coin-like protein chip. Most of the food is scarce. Clusters, yeah, if you played a video game or watched a show about mushroom zombies, this and it. So there's fields of space fungus spread for the meteoric craters, and yes, the infections are slow. Then they've got the rift, a gigantic cannon that splits the land in twain. Is that Fimbul Winter, I assume? When the first meteors hit, the great powers through the nuclear war had started and launched their own missiles accordingly. We've got varieties of wars going on, so religious wars and fanatics against federal remnants from the Icen Corps, and then the Toth. Finally, we get the unscrutable aliens, the disembodied terror that from beyond the back edges of space. So there's an awful lot going on in here, and the different let's say troubles and difficulties the player characters will encounter. Pledge levels, PDF pledge levels are always welcome, especially for someone like me. We can do then a PDF with a physical copy of the original book, which is the Jumper Cable edition. And then you've got the hard copy of the rules for $45. Sorry, I should have said $20 and $25 respectively. $60 for a hard copy of the book and some fact sheets and the PDFs. Oh, some of these PDFs, they are adventures here. So we've got a couple of adventures as well as the main adventure that's coming in the book. So I think they are classed as zines. And we've got a map and a sort of map of the area as well. And then a character sheets for the vehicles as well as players. We've then got a Rift edition here, which is a special edition cover of the book. And then we've got the All-In, which is, it's again special edition of the book and physical copies of things as well as PDF copies. Stretch goals, so it is fully funded. We are through almost into the, actually 17,500. Have they now hit that? We haven't quite, have we? I don't think. 27, yes. So it needs to sort of catch up with some of these stretch goals. What I need to do is read the word complete. That's a me issue. What I've done here is look at this bit in bold and then ignore the bits in bold. So variety of stretch goals have been complete, and a bookmark ribbon is the next one. I do like a bookmark ribbon in my books when I get physical copies. Details here about the creator, which is Scott C. McDonald, and the artist Matthew. Why do I do this to myself? Minsinski, I hope, and I'm sorry if I butchered that. Load of inspirations, which is wow, I do love this sort of world. So we've got Gamma World, Car Wars, Mad Max, obviously, especially Fury Road and Furiosa, which I don't think anyone watched, did they? Fallout, which is especially good. The Postman, The Last of Us, Book of Eli, The Go-Go Girls and Apocalypse. And if I can recommend another one, and it's a very good, it's a bit of a darker post-apocalypse. If you've never watched it, it's The Road with Viggo Mortensen. A very dark post-apocalyptic world. It's not quite in the Mad Max thing, but it really will get you into, when you're looking at things like just going back to the famine type aspect of it. I think The Road is a really good post-apocalyptic world film. Well, it's a really good book. The film's okay. So I'm sure it's Cormac McCarthy. Anyway, right. So let's just get on to done the rewards. There's a few FAQs in here. So if you bought Wasteland Degenerates, jump occasional, should you buy this? And this is a great question. The answer, he does come across it, and it does go through the additional stuff that you will get from it. And more importantly, there is no AI has been used in the creation of this. So if you are a anti-AI person, then this is definitely a project you should get behind. I think it's a project you should get behind anyway. I really like it, but then saying that, I don't put the video on for projects that I don't actually back or are a fan of. So let's just then look at some of the artwork in a little bit more detail. So Scott did send me these over Discord, so I did actually ask him. I said, I'm going to do a video on your project, and can I, have you got anything else I can show? And he's just sent me, I think it's 4 we've got to go through. So this is just some of the artwork. So this is the details of the vehicles that are included. We do have the world has already ended, which then details how the world itself. But as you can see, it's very much in the cyborg, Morkborg type artwork. It's got the sort of chaotic writing that's in there, but still, I'd say I found Morkborg really hard to read. I think it was the style of the book as well. But this is pretty good to read. So the fonts are used are quite good. It's nice and clear. There's a little bit, so it's like Pirate Borg. I remember struggling with Pirate Borg just because what Scott does here is that there's a lot of white backgrounds with black writing, which makes it easier to read. With me, Pirate Borg, it put a lot of words onto multicolored backgrounds. So as long as the background stays the same color, it's relatively easy for me to read. So a couple of NPC characters here, and then details of the federal remnants, so the government that is left around, and details about them. And that is back to the vehicles. So hopefully you can see from this video why I'm back in this project. You know, if you're a fan of Morkborg, cyborg, post-apocalyptic worlds, Mad Max, Fallout, the computer game, I think this is a nice, easy back. It's already funded. The stretch goals are piling through, which is already good. Help them get a ribbon, because if you're getting a physical copy of the book, every book needs a ribbon. Again, first level adventures, ribbons. These are mandatory things, I think, for physical copies of books. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. My name's Adrian from Dungeons and Dyslexia. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching.